So Leeds United in the quarter-final against West Ham. A huge game for both clubs in the season, obviously. The league, naturally, is the priority for both these clubs, but you wonder if the FA Cup quarter-final can serve as some kind of psychological edge that one team may be able to get over the other, which adds quite a bit of spice to this. I think it's not just Leeds United in the quarter-final of the FA Cup, it's Leeds United in the FA Cup quarter-final against West Ham, who we play at the end of the season in that last game of the season. If Leeds win tomorrow, I'd love to think that that gives us a little psychological edge. If the reverse happens though and West Ham win, hopefully that doesn't impact us going forward. And it makes me realise kind of how long we've been starved of success at Leeds. I mean, what is it, over 20 years since we made it this far in the FA Cup, and obviously the dark days of the Championship, that long stay we had in the Championship and also League One, we never saw quarterfinals of FA Cups or anything like that. You have to go back over 20 years before we reach this stage, and it's madness for a club our size. It really is, but we know the backstory and why that happened. But, as the financial reports that have come out this week have said, Leeds is a massive club and, we should be doing so much more in these domestic trophies. We really should be. And look, the priority is staying up this season, and I know there was a bit of debate amongst fans. Would you be happy winning the FA Cup if it meant you got relegated? I think I've definitely now landed on the side of I would prefer us to stay up than win the FA Cup, and the reason why is that long-term potential going down to the Championship will be a nightmare, absolute nightmare. I don't know if we can deal with that financially again and expect to bounce straight back. I'm not sure it would be as straightforward this time, so I definitely am prioritising staying in the Premier League above the FA Cup. But of course I would love to see us win something, do something. It's exciting, isn't it? Cup quarter final, you think, wow, it's something to really get excited about. For so many years in the doldrums we just had nothing like this, absolutely nothing. Pretty much until Marcelo came, we were just kind of so many seasons just petering out. Whereas this kind of era, the latest era, since Radrazani took over and now the 49ers, we've had things, we've had 2 championship winning teams, we've been to a playoff final, now we're hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get to an FA Cup semi-final. I think it is massive because we need to be doing more on that front. We should be doing more on that front. That's where I hope, we're getting to under the 49ers. If we can just stay up in the league this season, improve the team, we're starting work on the stadium, and if we can just grow Leeds, hopefully we can get to a spot where getting to an FA Cup quarter-final and semi-final is more common, because ultimately we want to see our club win something. And look, 92 teams in the Football League, I mean, not everybody can win something. It's not shared around, but look, Leeds are a massive fish. Like I mentioned, that commercial income that sits us in the top 10 in England, even despite being in the Championship, it's crazy. So it points to what we could potentially do. But going to tomorrow's game then against West Ham, I think it's going to be strong teams, strong lineups. Not sure if Chris Somerville's going to play for West Ham or not. I can see it going to extra time, maybe even a penalty shootout. I think there's a stat flying around with Leeds where we've the last 11 away games we've either been winning or drawing going into the 90th minute, which is a mad fact. So yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd say probably I could see extra time happening. Hopefully Leeds can get over the line because, look, do I think FA Cup semi-finals should be played at Wembley? No, not really. But if that happens, it's still an amazing thing. And it just puts that in the bank for us. It's muscle memory of actually doing something in a tournament for once. So yeah, I'm excited for the game, really excited. It's a nice little break from the league as well. You know, it's not got the same pressure on it. You know, look, if we do perform crap and we end up losing two, you know, albeit I mentioned that psychological element, hopefully it doesn't impact us on that front, but it is what it is. At least it's not the league. You know, maybe it gives Farker a bit more opportunity to potentially experiment or, you know, look to make changes earlier and, you know, maybe more attacking changes, you know, because you've got that freedom to do it, you know, because it is a cup competition rather than a league. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Leeds fans, let me know how you're feeling ahead of the West Ham quarter-final. Are you excited? What team do you think is going to play? And can we get it done? Let me know what you think.